All right, guys, this is the Ferro Concepts FCPC V5. It's a very popular carrier on the market today. This is the first time I've actually completely built a carrier system from basically 0 to 1, meaning, I bought the plate bags, I selected the cummerbund I wanted, I selected the QD system I wanted, placard, back panel, associated pouches. This is a lot of carriers come and they include a cummerbund, they include some pieces and things. So you don't really either have the option to customize or the option to build out. Like some slick carriers can't take back panels and things like that. So this is my first complete full, I'll say, carrier system build. You guys can see I went with Ranger Green, which in my opinion is the superior color. And the standard now from Ferro is the flat dark earth hardware, which I think just looks, chef's kiss. I really, really enjoy it. So we're going to get into how I've built this out and how I set mine up for my uses. I will say the plates in these plate bags right now are the 3A pluses from RMA Defense. Those were sent to me by RMA, so thank you to them. You guys, we have a discount code I'll throw in the description as well if you guys are looking to get into some armor. These things are like 2.5 pounds a piece, which is why I run them. Really, really comfortable. So starting at the top of the bag here, we'll see the QD is on my non-dominant shoulder side. That's, I can, if I needed to, I can clip out of this really easily, or if that's how you want to don or doff your plate carrier. These clips, for being as small and as light as they are actually remarkably strong and easy to use. And the whole design here allows a lot of versatility. So if you have a thin neck or a thick neck, you're girthy, really, really comfortable. I did also opt for the Ferro shoulder pads. I've had them before. With the material that's underneath here, these rough edges, you can see, they can kind of rough up your neck a bit, be very uncomfortable. So I like the shoulder pads regardless of who you go through, but the Ferro ones are nice. Had them before on a Slickster before I sold it and really enjoyed them. You can kind of see here too, I also like it for the comms routing capability. Now looking here at my push to talk, this is from Disco 32 for my Baofeng. I do have it kind of just clipped here on this top Velcro pocket of the carrier. Jared from Orion seems to have a pretty interesting way of, putting his in place. I think that's how he does it. I'm not actually sure. I'm gonna have to, shoot him a text message and find out. But that's staying in place pretty good there right now. The jaw on this from Disco has some pretty defined teeth on it, so it's not going to ruin the plate bag, but it's not going anywhere. You can also see this gray cord, which I do probably need to find a better way to run, is the antenna from Cattail Antennas. So shout out to Will. He's local to me here in Michigan and makes an outstanding product. Right now, I don't have an admin pouch or anything up here. I just decided to go with the American flag in green and black. And then moving down the placard. So this is a sled, 556 sled placard from Unobtainium Gear. So one of the things I decided I want to do with this carrier is I did not want to build out a very bulky front placard system like I'd used on other carriers in the past. I wanted to try and go slicker, where I could still carry the things I needed, but not a bunch of extra. So I have 1, 2, 3 PMags here. And you can see these awesome pockets they have in the front. So I have a Theorem tube here with some CR123s, and then I have a Gerber multi-tool for whatever you may need. And then I still have one pocket that's open here. Really, really good retention on that. And it also has this Tigris backer component you can kind of see that makes it very rigid, but also kind of just matches the overall aesthetic, which I am a total sucker for. It has to look good. Behind it, there actually is a small Velcro insert for my trauma shears. I know you can just shove it there behind your magazines. I spent the $10 or $12 on whatever it is. I think it's from HRT, and put that back there behind my magazine, stays in place, all Velcro, good to go. And at the bottom of the sled here, there actually is a little elastic retainer if you wanted to run your tourniquet that way. I personally run it with my dangler pouch, which I'll show you here. So this is from Reliant Solutions. I don't know the exact name of this dangler. This was from 100 Concepts. They sent that to me. They're a sponsor of the podcast and some tremendous dudes. I like this because once you unclip this retainer here, you can actually unvelcro this whole thing and access that pouch. So if you want to run medical like I do, or maybe if you're doing some kind of breaching work or something, I don't know. But the Velcro platform has a retainer of its own for the tourniquet, and that's just where I've kind of ran it for a long time, so that's where I left it. I'll do a separate video on this, but it also matches the flat dark earth and ranger green aesthetic. I will say I did, on the bottom of the plate bag here, I did Velcro this in behind the plate, not in the front of it on the plate bag exterior like a lot of people do, just so it runs a little bit tighter to my body. And I do prefer that for comfort and just overall looks and aesthetic. So that's basically how I set up the front plate bag. I tried to go with a no frills setup. You can see there are some cutouts here, some laser cuts for QASM buckles and whatever that I use to route my PTT cable and my antenna. You can do that a couple different ways. The G hooks actually have a little band underneath this flap. You can't really see it, but you can clip into that leaves these open for PTT mounting. That's exactly what I did. The Ferro dope pouch also utilizes the G hooks. Unobtainium gear, you can get it with the QASM buckles or QASM buckles, whatever, or you can get it with the G hooks. This was actually a birthday gift from my brother, and I asked for the G hooks so that I could do it that way. Kind of looking at the cummerbund and each side here, we can see the Cobra buckle. This is their QD set. Ferro actually gives you two options, technically three. You can just Velcro straight in. I, like a lot of people, don't love just ripping Velcro over and over, so I got their Cobra buckle kit. Real pain to get installed. I will say that. It did take me almost an hour to get both sides installed on the cummerbund here, but once it's in, it's very, very secure and it's not coming out. You could also do rocks buckles or just stick to straight up Velcro if that's how you roll. I like the Cobra buckles. So that just Velcros onto the front plate bag, and then the wings in it kind of butterfly into the molly webbing of their ADAPT cummerbund here. You can also see I was, I guess a glutton for punishment, and I also ran some molly straps for this Blue Force gear, single 5.56 pouch. This way I have additional storage so I could run another rifle mag. There's a lot of guys on the internet that get very, very torn up and upset if you're only carrying three magazines. So I can use this for a fourth magazine. I could use it for additional tools or chem lights or whatever else I may need to be carrying at that particular time. Can fit a lot of stuff in here, extra pistol mag if I wanted to. And then I did also take a page from Jared Orion's book, and you can kind of see here with the cummerbund, the way it wraps around to utilize the QD hardware. I was able to insert some loop Velcro material and make a little retention device that Velcroed in for my sock P dagger from Benchmade. So you can still access that, and it doesn't actually inhibit anything or get in the way while I'm wearing the carrier. And then this is their size XL cummerbund and the size XL side armor. I was a little bit apprehensive on the sizing. I was very unsure just because the armor here is about a quarter inch thick, give or take, which means you're about half an inch of sizing that you have to account for when you're getting it smaller or larger. But this works really, really well. And you can actually see here on the back, there's actually a little bit of give that's built in to account for, things like breathing, which I highly recommend breathing. So the system overall is just very, very good. I really like the side armor. It hugs you very, very well. It's not uncomfortable in any way. I think the guys at Ferro did an outstanding job with designing how this cummerbund and this side armor go together. It actually comes as two pieces, so you have to take your side armor and insert it into this pocket, and then it Velcros shut and then Velcros onto this cummerbund. Looking at the other side here, I have the Cobra Buckle QD on this side as well. And then once more, I wrapped the cummerbund itself around an expander wing, just a basic expander wing that I think Ferro makes, but this one I think was like an Amazon. Has a little retention tab here for my Baofeng. You can see my QD connection from cattail antennas, and then Great Plains Designs, the exoskeleton for the Baofeng. If you're running a Baofeng, this is like 20 or 30 bucks, and it's totally, totally worth it to have this so you don't get any weird hot button NDs or anything like that. And remember, don't be a dingus like me, and the screen should be facing into your body so that if that lights up because you're stupid like me and you don't know how to turn it off, that light doesn't give you away. But then this is basically how the whole front of the carrier is set up. And honestly, I don't have any comfort issues with anything. If you guys are running expander wings on your cummerbund, you probably run stuff close to the body on the inside of the cummerbund as well. Same thing here, even though this is very rigid and weight supporting, no problems. It's been absolutely awesome for me thus far. Now, if we talk about the back panel here, this is their flashbang pouch back panel. I don't know what the actual name is, from Ferro. Again, really easy design. It just clips it on the top, and there's 2 clips on the bottom, and you have zippers down the sides. So I have a GP pouch down here that has chest seal, or a pair of chest seals in here. You can kind of see that, and some extra gauze, just some extra medical, just for rendering buddy aid and things like that. 3 pouches here, really easy retention to keep these closed. Got nice little pull tabs here that can fit 3 bangers or whatever you need to put in there. I guess you could do smoke, you could do whatever you want. You can see here that the cattail antennas is run down behind the back panel and actually woven into the molly on the back plate bag here. And it's great because the antenna itself is absolutely massive. But this way you don't have a giant stick sticking up, signaling people where you're at or anything like that. And one of the things I really like is you can kind of see these little elastic tabs down here and up here, which is actually for these little jingly zippers, these YKK zipper tabs. You can actually take these and insert them, if I can do this while I'm on camera, probably not. You can actually insert them into that elastic, and it's a silencer, so they don't jingle around and make a ton of noise, because we want our kit to be quiet and silent. And there you go, absolutely fantastic. You'll also see I have the Darcy strap. I need to kind of tighten mine up, take the back panel off, tighten it up. You'll see the pull handle up here, which I made with some tubular nylon, which is as prescribed. But instead of just putting a bunch of tape and knots at the top here, I got some washing machine tube, which I think it's about 7/8 inner diameter. I think I'd have to double check that. Cut it down to about a 4-inch section. I literally took a tape measure and just measured across my hand to grab this, and then wrapped it in some Howie's Pro Tape, Howie's Hockey Pro Tape, which is what I use on the grips of my rifles and my handguns. And it feels awesome. You got some knots here on each side so that it's not going anywhere, kind of captures that handle for you. And then you can see it comes out the bottom. This is the tail with a square knot tied here. And I should probably put some tape on that so it doesn't come undone. Very strong knot. And then I did order from Spiritus Systems. This is the carabiner that they sell. I forget the name of the company, but it is a locking carabiner, and it's large enough that it's going to fit around basically any battle belt that you're going to find on the market. And I just have it retained here, clipped through the bottom of my molly webbing. So I recommend getting a very large one if you can. I think Austrialpen, I think, is the name of the company that makes this one. Spiritus sells it direct on their site. It's like $25. It's totally worth it, you guys. I tried finding a cheaper one on Amazon, and they were pretty small, and a lot of them didn't lock. It's not the kind of thing, if you actually had to deploy this to be buddy dragged out of a bad situation, that you want this to fail and fall apart on you. So spend the $25. It's worth the extra $10 plus shipping to just get the good one. Yeah, so that's the back panel here. Not a lot to say about it, but it does have everything that you need. It does have some a Velcro 4x4 Velcro field back here if you needed identifying patches, things like that, and an entirely molly back if you didn't want to run the back panel. It still has molly there in case you want to run your cattail antennas or something else. So all in all, it's been a very expensive setup. However, I will say it is probably the most comfortable carrier that I've ever ran, which up to this point, I've really enjoyed the HRT LBAC for its comfort and its load bearing ability. This one has I will say it feels like a slightly smaller profile while still being very supportive and very comfortable. And I just really enjoyed the aesthetic of this carrier. And I highly recommend it. I know we're all trying to buy once, cry once. In my experience, the Ferro stuff has been absolutely outstanding quality. You could definitely do a lot worse for the money, and recommend it, you guys. So thanks for checking this out. Make sure you guys smash the like button, the subscribe button, and check us out on Spotify for our podcast and Instagram for all of our content.